this is a good question. I get it a lot. I actually don't spend money on advertising because I don't like Etsy ads. I haven't personally had any success with them. I've gone back and forth trying to figure it out, and I never really have. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try it, because you could just, on your top listings, try spending $2 a day and just see what happens. And if it works for you, then that's great. And it's only $2 a day, or maybe even $3 or $4 or $5 a day. So I have only heard kind of really mixed reviews about Etsy ads, but there is times where it does work for people. So test it out and see if it works for you. And if it does, great. And if it doesn't, then you don't have to do it anymore. It's not easy. Sure. I actually really like the Google Ads part of Etsy. That is where Etsy has brought me in a lot of traffic and a lot of customers. So Google Ads is something that Etsy will automatically enroll your store in. If you have under $10,000 in revenue, then you can opt out of this program. But if you have done more than $10,000 in revenue, they will automatically enroll you and you don't have a choice. But if your listings are optimized, then what Etsy will do is they will use the Google Ads platform and they will advertise your products for you, which I am a huge fan of, because that means that I don't have to manage that ad account, and Etsy is doing work for me that I don't have to do. So that is a great option, and I definitely recommend that anybody who is selling should opt into that program and see what kind of results you get. And just remember that when you use Google Ads, it's something that you only pay for when you get a sale. So, if you don't get a sale, then they're not going to charge you for running those advertisements. It's only when you get the sale, and then they'll take that fee out of the sale. So, get on Google Ads, or make sure that your store is enrolled. Yeah, so that's a really good question, because there's so much competition in the e-commerce space. But a few ways that you can stand out is, first, having a product that is unique. So you should have something that is different from your competitors. So when people are scrolling through your thing, you have enough contrast compared to other listings that it's going to pop out, and people are going to be curious about it because it looks different from the other things. The second thing you can do is you can add videos to your listing, and that is a new feature that Etsy has recently done, and they have said that listings with video has a higher conversion rate than listings without. You can also add some really unique pictures. You have a lot of picture options, and you should add lifestyle pictures into your photos. Also, if you have the sizing in your listings, then also add a sizing chart, or anything else. If your product needs care, then put in how to care for this product, or anything else that could be unique and helpful for the customer that would help your product stand out. Let's see here. Yeah, and then also having a description will be really helpful. So make sure all of your customers' questions are answered in your description and in your about store area. And then that way your customer can feel confident in where they're buying from and what they're expecting from the product. Yeah, so this is a tough question, because some people will jump in to Etsy and they'll immediately get sales, right? They happen to find something that has some lower competition, or they take a unique approach on it that stands out really quickly, and that's awesome. Other people will have to upload maybe 100 to 200 listings depending on where you're at. So I'm in the print on demand business, and so a lot of times you're going to have to upload that many products before you kind of understand what people are looking for and nailing your design. But if you're doing handcrafted things, you might only need 20 to 30 listings, and you'll have consistent sales. So the key that I have found is that look at where you're at, whatever your niche is, and time yourself. See how long it takes for you to create your product and to do your research on that product and then list that product. And then after that, make that your pace. And then for like a week or two, be like, okay, can I maintain this? Is this maintainable? And then if it is, then look for ways that you can improve your process, or, carve out an extra hour of time to add more listings. And I find that people who approach it from what can I do and how can I improve position, they do a lot better than comparing themselves to somebody who is more experienced or maybe is approaching it in a different way. And then they're just competing against themselves and what they're capable of. Etsy sellers come from so many different walks of life. Some people have full-time jobs. Some people are, you might be a stay-at-home parent and you're trying to do this part-time. Some people are, they've quit their jobs and they're jumping into this full-time. So it's really unfair to say you should do this before you see a sale. The best thing to do is say, what can I do? And then how can I improve upon that process of where I'm at? Yeah, that's a great question too. So I find that it's a nice feature to have, but if you are just getting started, just the basic Etsy store is perfect. A lot of times people, when they start, they want to have everything perfect, and they want to, they feel like if they had that, then that would change everything for them. But if you aren't getting listings up and optimizing your listings, it doesn't really, and you're not getting sales, it doesn't really matter how nice your store is. People will buy your product because they love it, not whether you have like a little bit spiffier of a store. So, if you start getting consistent sales and you have built a brand and you have a process in place, then yeah, I definitely think go for the Etsy Plus plan. But if you are just starting out and you have not gotten any sales, or your sales are inconsistent and your process is inconsistent, that should not be priority. Your priority should be quality listings and making sure that you're making money first. Yeah, so like I said before, I'm in print on demand. So what that means is that I will take a product from another company and I add a personal element that I create, so like a design. And for me, it goes onto a necklace. And so when that product sells, it immediately gets printed on by this other company that I'm partnered with. So with that, there are multiple options that you can get with my product. So you can get just a standard box, or you can get this really beautiful like mahogany wooden looking box to go with the product, and that is called a variation. So you can do the same thing with t-shirts. For example, you could have like a white, blue, and black version of a t-shirt, and those are all variations. So with SedCommerce, you can set up a profile that will pull in all of those variations from your Shopify store, which is really nice because you want to be able to offer as many, not as many, but you want to be able to offer your variations to your customers so that you can either have those upsells or the things that they're looking for to make those sales.